So now, okay. So hopefully you already see my screen. Yes, okay.
Yes.
Yes. So we have already seen how easy and quick it is to deploy the mobile app using our cloud and QR code. We have done it by pressing this quick publish button like here. I press it, and the current process that is open immediately exports to cloud, and I see this QR code which I can copy and paste it to my email and share with users, and they scan it on the mobile phone, and the application is running on their device immediately. And it's also stored in the list of applications, so they can easily find it out in their app and start it again without scanning the same QR code again, because the app is already stored on their device. Right? Okay. So when we need to publish multiple applications, we have this button here, this portal repository, which can create a repository for storing or exporting multiple applications into our cloud system. And this would be the same like the step before, like the individual application publishing, except that we can publish multiple applications. And for the customers who do not want to rely on our cloud infrastructure and want to keep their maybe old system on their premises, on their servers, that we also have specific components that can be installed on their servers, on their local networks. And this is the custom portal. This is a component. This is composed just from one single executable that is installed on the server, and it creates automatically all the database behind its necessary data and so on. And you control everything just from this modular. Like here, I have a custom portal manager where I can create a new connection to such a portal component. I just connect. On the server side, it's just simple configuration file with some security like username and password and so on. I just connect to such a custom portal, which is somewhere in the cloud or somewhere on the network on this URL here. And I can create multiple repositories which can store any number of applications, like you see here. I can also individually scan this QR code here if I want, but I can to import or execute the single app on a mobile device. But I can also scan the whole repository code here. I can copy it, for example, to my clipboard and put it, for example, to some email and scan it on a mobile device. I can also show it. I can scan it on a mobile device here. So you now see my Android device, and I will scan this code from this email message here. See, and the application shows some quick pop-up that it's importing settings and applications from the repository, and it's installed already on my phone in the list of my applications. And it means that we have also subscribed to automatic updates from this portal repository, meaning that if we publish an updated version of some application, because you see in this list that there are also the versions like up version 4 and 2 and so on. So if we create an updated version of our application, I switch back to my modular and put it to a portal repository, the mobile phone will receive an automatic update of this specific application and keeps these mobile apps up to date in sync with the content of the portal repository. It means that, for example, I have several repositories here. See the code on the right side changing as I click on a different repository. I can create more of them. And regarding the apps on these repositories, I can put more applications just by dragging them over to this repository, like this one, for example. I don't know. We have this test solved. I will put it here. It automatically jumps to this portal repository, and it's there. And I could update it anytime by dragging the same application file again. So, because as you can see, these apps are very small files in size, just by maybe 1, 2, 3 kilobytes, containing everything, this whole application model, logic, and built-in scripts and styles, and everything needed for the executions of this specific single application. So it's very easy and straightforward, because you just create your apps and drag these files to this portal repository, and it's there. And the client side, it means the native applications on whether it's Android, Windows, or iOS, is automatically updated in, for example, let's say periods of 30 minutes. And unless you increase the version of the, or if you increase the version of the app, then the app is automatically updated. So it means, for example, here I have version 1, so I make it version 2. So if I put an update of this app to a portal repository, it updates also on the devices. If I do not raise this version, then it's not updated. So it's optimized so that the traffic on the network is not so high, updating everything. So instead, we are only updating based on the versions. So on the portal repository, we can also store some other information, like some variables, like we can install some custom variables on a mobile device, which is then available in your apps. So we can use some specific data, some specific, for example, system IP addresses, then you can use as a variable in your mobile apps, as we have seen in this format. I enclose it into this curly brackets, and I can use it as a variable in my mobile processes. That's, for example, I can use the IP address of the test system or the production system, so that I do not need to change the single process or the application when transporting to the production system, because it then uses the IP address of the services on the production system. So that it's very optimal if transporting between several systems, that you can use the custom variables, and this you can put them onto this portal repositories, so that they are synchronized automatically along with the apps to the mobile devices. So that would be the basic overview of this publication process. When there are some questions or maybe some details behind the server side, because the server side is just, as I told you, this single component, the single executable for a specific platform like Linux or Windows. You just put this exe file into the Apache CGI bin directory, and you just call it using its URL, and it only has some simple text configuration file with some security settings, so that we can connect to this specific portal repository, like here.
So maybe some additional information. These repositories, portals can be installed in the cloud or on-premise at the customer directly.
Yes. Yes, of course. Otherwise, it's possible to create a cloud-based portal repository which is accessible from the internet. So it's also possible to connect to cloud-based repositories, unless you want to have it on your network, and that is where we are creating the custom repositories on your servers or customer servers. This is a cloud-based repository which is in our cloud system, so it's the same, like, except that it's not on a specific server on local network, but it's in the cloud, in the internet. So I can also have some roles and users, and maybe confirm whether this user can connect to the specific repository and so on. Yeah, I can also share this so-called business card of this repository. I can send it to the email, and users can scan it, and I can confirm that they can use it. And they already start using the processes on their mobile phones. So it's very quick and fast. So as you have seen, that maybe from the zero to running process on a mobile phone, it can take as little as a couple of minutes, like installing this modular and creating an application, like with some simple label and button, and already publishing, scanning on a mobile client applications that you can install from the App Store within maybe 30 seconds, and scan this and it's running. So it's really fast deployment, yeah. And without any hassle, any necessary other system or web service, so nothing in between.
Okay, thank you, Boris. It was the short introduction into the possibilities of the deployment of the application, which is very easy compared to the other methods. The point is that you can use different methods using the standard portals or repositories. You can create the portals and repositories for specific customers, for specific business areas of some customer, or for specific purpose, for example, testing portal or production portal. You can combine it into different in different ways. And in context of IoT, you can use the direct deployment. For example, you create the QR code of the application and put this QR code on the real object, for example, the machine, and then by scanning of the QR code on the machine, you can transfer this application, which is for example the application for the control of the specific production line or machine, to the mobile phone, and you can also force the user to access some physical location, because the QR code is placed only on this physical connection, and after processing of the application based on this QR code, this application disappears. And you can use many scenarios which are optimally designed for the new processes in context of IoT or smart factory.